how does a nation just turn on itself? I mean, really, this is the story of how one single, horrific crime committed in one small town spiraled into a brutal civil war that brought an entire people to the very edge of being wiped out. It's a really dark chapter, and it's a huge warning about justice, about vengeance, and, the catastrophic price of pride.
So here's how this whole tragic story breaks down. First, we're going to look at the unspeakable crime that lit the fuse. Then we'll see a nation's demand for justice, which leads to two absolutely stunning defeats that nobody saw coming. After that, we'll break down the clever ambush that completely turned the tide of the war. And finally, we'll have to face the tragic aftermath, a tribe almost completely annihilated.
All right, so let's dive in. Picture this. The 12 tribes of Israel are all gathered together as one. And why? They've been summoned by a Levite, a kind of religious official, who has brought them evidence of an atrocity so awful it demands that the entire nation respond.
The Levite's testimony is it's shocking. He explains that while he was staying in the town of Gibeah, which is in the territory of the tribe of Benjamin, his concubine was brutally assaulted and killed by the men of that city. Then, in this grim, powerful act to make a point, he dismembered her body and sent the pieces throughout all of Israel, basically forcing every single tribe to confront the evil that had just happened. And you better believe this horrifying message, it works. All the other tribes of Israel rise up, completely united in their outrage. They march to the land of Benjamin to confront them and demand that the guilty men be held accountable. Now, what's really interesting here is that there's a clear path to peace on the table. The united tribes, they don't immediately demand war. Their ultimatum is specific. Just hand over the guilty men from Gibeah. See, this isn't about punishing the whole tribe. It's about getting justice and purging this evil from the nation.
And here it is. This is the fateful decision. Whether it was pride or some kind of twisted tribal loyalty, or both, the tribe of Benjamin refuses. They choose to protect the guilty. And in doing that, they make the crime of a few bad men the responsibility of their entire tribe. War was now unavoidable.
So both sides get their armies ready. And on paper, this looks like an absolute slaughter. I mean, it doesn't even look like a fair fight. The combined Israelite army is this massive force of 400,000 soldiers. The Benjamites, they can only scrape together about 26,700. The odds are just overwhelmingly stacked against them.
But the Benjamites have an ace up their sleeve. Among their soldiers are 700 elite troops. These guys are left-handed slingers, and they are famous for their deadly accuracy. We're told they could sling a stone at a hair and not miss. Think about that for a second. So the crucial point here is, while they are seriously outnumbered, they are definitely not outmatched when it comes to skill. So, believing God is on their side, the Israelites attack Gibeah, expecting this to be over pretty quickly. But what happens next is one of the most stunning upsets you could possibly imagine.
On the very first day of battle, the much smaller Benjamite army comes out of Gibeah and just decimates the Israelite forces. They cut down 22,000 soldiers. It is a catastrophic and, frankly, humiliating defeat for the bigger army.
Stunned, but not totally broken, the Israelites weep and regroup. They ask God if they should attack again, and the answer they get is yes. So, on day 2, they go in again, and they get defeated again, losing another 18,000 men. In just 2 days, 40,000 Israelites have been killed. It's unbelievable.
This second defeat just brings the entire nation to its knees. The army retreats to the holy site of Bethel, completely broken. They spend the day weeping and fasting, humbled before God. All their arrogance is gone, and it's been replaced by pure desperation. They ask one more time, should we fight or should we just stop? And this time the answer comes, go, for tomorrow I will give them into your hands. So, on the third day, the Israelites approach the battle with a new sense of purpose and, more importantly, a new plan. They are done relying on just brute force. Now, this time, they're going to use strategy. They are going to set a trap.
Okay, let's break down this plan. It's a classic ambush. First, the main army is going to attack and then pretend to retreat. The idea is to lure the overconfident Benjamite army out into the open, away from the safety of their city. Second, a hidden force of 10,000 men will use that opportunity to rush in and capture the now empty city. Finally, they'll set the whole place on fire, sending up a massive smoke signal.
And that signal is the cue for the main army to turn around and attack the now trapped Benjamites.
And the Benjamites fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, they're so full of themselves after those first 2 victories, their pride becomes their downfall. As soon as they see the Israelites retreat, they think, here we go again. They charge out of their city, chasing them down, walking right into the jaws of the trap.
And then the trap is sprung. The ambush force takes the city and sets it ablaze. As the Benjaminites are busy chasing the retreating army, they happen to look back, and they see their entire city going up in smoke. In that exact moment, as the main Israelite army suddenly stops, turns, and faces them, they realize disaster has arrived.
The counterattack is absolutely devastating. The Benjamites are trapped between the main army in front of them and the forces that just took their city behind them. They're surrounded and they are annihilated. 25,100 of their soldiers are killed in the slaughter. In one terrible, decisive battle, the war is over.
But the story doesn't end there. The fight for justice has now morphed into a campaign of total annihilation. The victory on the battlefield is not the end. For the tribe of Benjamin, believe it or not, the worst is yet to come.
The pursuit is just relentless. After those 18,000 fall in the main battle, the Israelites hunt down anyone trying to escape. They cut down 5,000 along the roads, and then they find and kill another 2,000. In the end, only a tiny remnant of the army, just 600 men, managed to escape to a place called the Rock of Rimmon.
And the retribution is absolute. The punishment isn't just for the soldiers anymore. The Israelite army sweeps through the entire territory of Benjamin, putting everyone in every town, we're talking men, women, and children, to the sword. They kill the livestock, they burn every city to the ground. It's a scorched earth policy of total destruction.
So after all the fighting, the hunting down, and the destruction of the cities, this is what is left of the once proud tribe of Benjamin. Just 600 men. That's it. The entire tribe, its armies, its cities, its people, has been effectively erased.
And this leaves us with the central, haunting question of this entire story. The war began as a quest for justice, right? To punish a grotesque crime. But it ended in the near genocide of an entire tribe. It forces us to ask, where is the line between justice and pure vengeance? And at what point does the effort to purge evil become an even greater evil itself?